The first time I encountered a mummy, I was probably 10 years old, and to me it was a very humbling experience. That suddenly I got to meet someone who had lived 2,000 years ago, and it makes you realize that you're just one little drop in a big, huge bucket, and we're all part of this greater thing. I think that's something that the mummies can do with people, just sort of make you reflect on this big journey that we're on as human beings. This is a period of ancient Egyptian history that's very often pushed to the side because it's Greco-Roman Egypt, where you have this mix of different cultures, Egypt, Greece, and Rome coming together, and it doesn't quite look like the Egypt that we know and love. There's more than just mummies though, because it's really about religious beliefs, it's really about how to get to the afterlife, how do you achieve eternal life. So we talk about that in the exhibition, so we have objects that relate to that as well, and it's over 100 objects, including those 8 mummies. Because a lot of this material was discovered in Egypt when Egypt was under British rule, so during the British Empire. So we talked just a little bit about that in the exhibition, but it is in the catalog, explored in depth. And so I think museums are looking at their collecting history, and especially if there's any kind of colonial past associated with it, to try to be more transparent. As new generations of scholars look at this material, step back from the prejudices and the biases of the late 1800s and early 1900s. So that's one of the things the exhibition is trying to do. To be able to become like a god was thought to be an aid in achieving eternal life. In Egyptian mythology, gods are immortal. Egyptian gods are described as having bones of silver, skin of gold, and hair of lapis lazuli. And lapis lazuli is actually a semi-precious stone that is blue in color. And so to become like a god, they thought, well, let's have the mummy decorations, the masks and the portraits. Let's have them with blue hair, golden skin, and that's what you see in the exhibition. Not all of them have blue hair, not all of them have a gilded face, but what you see on the golden mummies, that's what they're trying to achieve because they want to be eternal like the gods. And it was believed that in the afterlife, to be able to enjoy everything the afterlife has to offer, it is better to be, as an adult, fully functional sexual adult, than just a little kid. And so that's why you see some of the young girls depicted as fully grown women. Gods are typically young and beautiful, healthy and everything. In pharaonic art, it's very idealized. What you find in the Roman period, the portraits are very naturalistic, and that's the cultural influence coming in from elsewhere in the Mediterranean, because Egypt is part of a much, much bigger empire now. But everybody is depicted just like you would at your funeral. You would want to have a picture of you looking your best, looking healthy and fancy and whatnot. The portrait serves that purpose. And what you see is also the fashions of change. You'll see people with Roman hairstyles, they're wearing togas, that sort of thing. So there's a new identity, basically, of how you present yourself in this very multicultural world. And your funerary beliefs might be entirely Egyptian, but you might dress like a Roman. During this time, Egypt continued to thrive, even though the country was ruled by the Greeks and by the Romans. And multiculturalism is a good thing because you get to do your own thing, you get to be accepted and live with other people who might have different views than you do. So I think that's a very important message to share, and know that multiculturalism is not a new thing. It existed in ancient times. And if the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Romans could get along generally well, I think that's something hopeful for the future.